What is going on, all of you video game fans out there in the world? I am Mega Am, so thank you for watching this YouTube video. Whether you are a new or returning viewer, I appreciate you stopping by. And this is going to be a very heavy topic, so buckle in. Currently, as I'm recording this, it is 4th of July, and I am currently high, and I am ready. I've been ready for a couple days to just unload my thoughts on this. I know I've already done a couple YouTube shorts when the news dropped, but I wanted to just vent about this. And I vented about this topic kind of before, but we're really going to go into it here. So buckle in, and honestly, if you try to argue against me in the comments, just try. Just try if you disagree with me here. Shout out to Aftermath, who I'm going to be sourcing for all of these articles. They do some really good work over there. Go subscribe or read them if you're interested. Xbox. Recently, it was announced that 9,000 people, roughly 9,000 employees across all of Microsoft, to be fair, not just Xbox, were laid off this past week. And that's about 4% of their workforce, which might not sound like a big number, but you consider the actual number, 9,000 people. And obviously Microsoft has a ton of people employed. 9,000 is not a small number of people. Think about it. 9,000 people lost their jobs. That is absolutely fucking absurd. And a lot of what it seems to come down to is Microsoft's push into AI, which is replacing a lot of jobs and just like finding redundancies. And they've had this big push into AI that may not be paying off. That's a whole separate thing. But specifically, we're going to talk about Xbox here and what's been going on here, because there have been some massive layoffs and shutdowns and game cancellations when it comes to the Xbox side of things. So shout out to Riley. I don't know how to pronounce the last name, McLeod, maybe. Shout out to you for writing this. Pretty much, so we heard about last year, right? If you were paying attention, there were closures for Tango Gameworks, that studio that made Hi-Fi Rush. Thankfully, they were bought up by Krafton, and they are working on a new game, maybe Hi-Fi Rush 2. Hopefully, Krafton treats them a lot better than Xbox did. There was the Arcane Austin team, they that had worked on Redfall. They were closed down, and there's been also other layoffs here and there sprinkled in between with Xbox here and there. This one specifically was big. Specifically with this one, ZeniMax Online Studios, who had worked on the Elder Scrolls Online, they were working on a game called Project Blackbird. That was completely shut down. Apparently Phil Spencer loved it, and that got shut down. We had Perfect Dark canceled, being worked on by the Initiative team, which was an Xbox studio in collaboration with Crystal Dynamics. That game is canceled, even though we saw it at the Xbox Showcase in 2024. And the team, the Initiative, is gone. That is shut down. Is no longer an operating studio at Xbox. We also had the cancellation of Everwild, which was Rare's newest game. Of course, recently they've done Sea of Thieves and been supporting that. But of course, Rare, I mean, what can you say about Rare? Donkey Kong Country, Banjo-Kazooie, Conker's Bad Fur Day, Viva Pinata, Grabbed by the Ghoulies? You want to get really weird? Of course, Sea of Thieves. They were working on Everwild for the last almost 10 years. And to be fair, we hadn't heard a lot about it. Phil Spencer himself was in an interview saying he was very excited about the game. Canceled. Completely cut. I would not be surprised if Rare is shut down within the next couple of years. I would not be surprised at all. What have they been working on besides Sea of Thieves support for the last 10 years in this Everwild game that's now completely out the window? Those are gone. There was some, I think it was like a Warcraft mobile game on the Blizzard side that was shut down. I don't know the full details about that, but that one seems, it hasn't been reported on as much, but Project Blackbird is gone. John Knowles, here's one, shout out to this article, was working on Forza games, like the Forza, it might have been more than motorsport games. He left. There were some layoffs on that team. Was it Turn 10, I think, is the developer there? Yeah, it's affecting like a lot of these studios, even the ones that make high-selling games like Forza. Rare, Greg Mails, who has literally been working on Rare games, back with Donkey Kong Country, Banjo, and Battletoads, along with Luis O'Connor, whose first game was Conker's Bad Fur Day, absolute industry veterans working at, yeah, in Greg Mail's case, working at Rare for 35 years. He's leaving. After Everwild's canceled, he's gone. He was not laid off. He just decided to leave, which is crazy. He's been with Rare forever. I don't think it's mentioned in this article specifically, but John Romero, who you may know from classic Doom days, one of the original creators of the classic Doom, he had a studio, Romero Games, that I think was an independent studio. But their newest original IP FPS game they were working on, if we actually go to Romero Games here, they were being funded by Microsoft. And that game was canceled. And we now know that the studio seems to be shutting down. Like, they were banking on Microsoft giving them a lot of funding because, of course, you're going to. Microsoft has billions and billions of dollars. So, of course, you're going to be like, oh, we're good. Microsoft said, nope, we're cutting your funding, and this whole studio is going to shut down. So this is going to be gone. They were working on an all original IP with a major publisher. It was Xbox, and that's cut. That's no longer happening. And when you have industry veterans like John Romero pretty much losing their job due to Microsoft's actions, and industry veterans like Greg Mails, like Luis O'Connor leaving, not even just being laid off, leaving, you know there's a fucking mess on your hands. The absolute absurdity. It's absolutely crazy to me. Microsoft is already in such a terrible situation, right? There's been the BDS movement where there's been instances of or confirmations of Microsoft being involved with the Israeli military, and that's caused a ton of backlash. A lot of people are boycotting them, and myself kind of included. And there's also just been issues with layoffs in previous years, and the fact that these games take a while to come out. I know we had Avowed this year, we had South of Midnight this year, Outer Worlds 2 is on the way. So they have some games, but you're also gutting so many others to the point where Xbox is literally only going to become Call of Duty, maybe Forza, Halo once every 10 years, and that's probably going to be it. Like, who even knows if Elder Scrolls 6 is going to last? Like, we don't know. Starfield did so poorly, I don't know. Maybe it'll come out still, we'll see. But, like, and it's so crazy to me when all of these corporate executives tried to justify the layoffs. Let's see what this says here. Phil Spencer writes in his layoff justification that we would not be where we are today without the time, energy, creativity of those roles that impacted. The people he's speaking to weren't just foundational to Microsoft, but some of gaming's earliest character studios and systems. Like, some of these people have been around forever. And there's also a ton of people who haven't been around forever, but still did really good work, and they're just being gone. I am sweating like crazy if I am Double Fine right now. I know they have their Keeper game coming out later this year. I would be sweating if I was Tim Schafer or anybody who works there, because after all of this, they're one of those quirky like game studios. I don't know how well a game like Keeper will sell. They might be next. Like, I don't want to put that into the universe, but I am worried for them. I am extremely happier and happier with every passing day that Toys for Bob literally bought out their own independence. The only other problem is that they're currently working on a game with Microsoft funding, so they could be in a similar situation that Romero Games was in. I don't know what's going on there. Like, I have no idea. It's bad. All right, this is vocal song. We're not doing that. It's a whole shit show. So to me, it's like, don't try to argue against me with any of this. Like, there is no possible way to be defending Microsoft. Do not tell me it's capitalism, because of course it is, but that doesn't mean it's not shitty. This should not be the norm. The games industry is collapsing. The more that, I feel like it's the 2020s especially, go on. Layoffs have happened before. They always have in capitalism, because capitalism sucks, and because that's just what a lot of these companies justify to increase record profits. Like Microsoft just reported, they're 18% up in profits, in net revenue, because of these layoffs. And it's like, that's all they're trying to do is appease shareholders. That's all they're trying to do. You have people like Phil Spencer saying, like, we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the games being made. No. That's not... I don't know. Let's go to this article that Luke Plunkett over at Aftermath wrote. Has Xbox considered laying off one person instead of thousands? I don't know if this order is coming from Phil Spencer. I feel like it's not, but we don't know one way or the other right now. It could be from Santina Della, who all the upper execs at Microsoft care about is, you know, appeasing shareholders, making net revenue. And they don't give a shit about Xbox. They do not care about Xbox. Phil Spencer, on the surface, Sarah Bond, they appear to care. But we don't know for sure. We don't know what their intentions are. All we know is that they are not doing a good job of steering Xbox in the right direction. And maybe their hands are tied, but from our perspective, from the consumer perspective, it doesn't seem like they're doing enough to prevent stuff like this from happening. You know, it's It's crazy that they were allowed to buy Activision Blizzard, what was that, 3-4 years ago? Or I guess it went through a couple of years ago, actually, officially. The fact that they went through with that, and now so many people are getting laid off. Back then, they said they weren't going to lay people off. They're like, oh, no, they'll be fine. Okay, and you can't promise that shit, because then you have situations like this happen where almost 10,000 people, granted, like I said, all of Microsoft, not just Xbox, are let go. Just to appease shareholders, just to make record profits go up. It's crazy. And it's like, that's the thing. The last 18 months, they've had 4 rounds of layoffs, 4 major rounds of layoffs. That is absurd. And Microsoft is still making more money. It's not like they're losing money. They are making money because they're laying all these people off. And they're also trying to like throw their hat in the ring with AI and really push that forward. And as a result, they have to cut costs, which means getting rid of people. It's so shitty. I'm at the point where part of me wants to just destroy my Xbox and upload a video of that. Like, I want to become one of those YouTubers that just destroys Xboxes. You know, I'm getting to that point. It's just like, I am actively trying to avoid buying any Xbox purchases. I'm not going to buy their next console. I'm trying not to buy any sort of games, whether first party or third party, on the Xbox. I want to get rid of my Windows PC. And this is obviously your own decision, but to me, it's like, put your wallet where your morals lie. Xbox keeps screwing up and not learning from it. They need an infinite amount of goodwill to even bring a lot of their fan base back. You're always going to have the hardcore people who are going to play COD, who are going to play, I don't know, I guess Doom is okay. They'll probably keep playing, they'll make Doom games, I'm sure that's like the FPS, who are going to play Halo. You're always going to have those hardcore fans who will gravitate towards that. But you have people who jump on board. Like, for example, for me, I don't play a ton of Xbox first-party games, but I like their hardware. I like some of the things they offer. Shit like this makes me want to scream and makes me not want to care. Like, I actively cannot support Xbox when you have shit like this happening. These are real people, real people's jobs that are just completely, their way of living, their way of life, their income that they need to live, cut. To me, it's like, you can't ignore that. And if you do, you just have zero empathy, and I have no respect for you. Like, I'll be blatant. I will be blatant. It shouldn't take the cancellation of games to get people to care, but it does. So I'm sure there are people who are looking forward to Perfect Dark who now care because Perfect Dark is canceled. Not because the people are laid off, but because their precious video game that matters nothing compared to the livelihoods of thousands of employees is canceled. Either way, pay attention to this shit. Put your money where your morals lie. That's all I'm going to say. This is, once again, another reminder out of a million, especially in the video game industry, where corporations are not your friends. They never will be. You are consumers to them. They want you to buy their stuff. That's all they care about. They don't want you to pay attention to shit like this. They're going to keep, like Phil Spencer, like other people at Microsoft are doing, they're going to keep ensuring you. We've got plenty of games coming along the way. Forget about those ones that you saw footage of. No, forget about those. Those never existed. Don't worry about it. There's the next Halo's coming out next year. Then you'll be good. It's crazy to me. But then again, they have their games calendar is so fucked up to where they really don't have a ton of games coming out. If I was a partner studio owned by Xbox making not Call of Duty, not sports games, not Doom, maybe not Elder Scrolls, not Halo, I would be freaking out. Obsidian might be fine. I would be freaking out if I was one of those studios. I really would be. So here's the thing. Is Phil Spencer or Sarah Bond, any of them, are they getting cuts in their salaries? Of course not. Of course not. There's no laws like there are in Japan, like what happened with Iwata in the Wii U. There's no laws like that in the US. They're not getting salary cuts. No. Even though they should be. They're not. It's the people getting laid off that, for some reason, have to be dealt the blame, even though they make these really cool, really fun games. Maybe they don't sell the best, but even if your game is successful, you're still going to get cut. It's absolutely crazy to me. I think they need I don't even know what they need to do. At this point, I feel like Xbox just is going to crash and burn. Like, I genuinely don't know. I saw an article recently, not Aftermath, but a different article that said that Xbox is really becoming a third-party studio. They're becoming a third-party publisher where they're going to have their games on almost every device. They're going to brand certain things in Xbox way, but eventually they're just going to be a third-party publisher. And they're not sustainable at all. They're kind of reminding me of Embracer Group. They are burning out. And it's like, it's tough because it's like, as a studio, you probably look at the prospects of Microsoft. They have a ton of money, right? So of course they're going to fund your games. This is the risk you run, and this is a massive risk. Xbox cannot recover. They've been trying to recover for the last 10 years since the Xbox One. They cannot recover anymore. They are a completely different company now. They're on a completely different trajectory for the worse. Most of those studios, like I said, Rare's probably going to close in the next few years. I'm very worried about Double Fine right now. They're going to become the Call of Duty, maybe Doom, Halo studio. And that's it. That's it. Xbox is in such a shitty situation. Microsoft being over them is really not helping because they're making some really shitty moves, laying off all these people. And of course, the execs still get paid. And then there was this thing. Well, when we wrap up here, let's talk about this thing that came out just today. Happy 4th of July. Use AI to get over your problems, apparently, according to an Xbox producer. What the fuck? It's like, okay, here's the thing, because I've also made an AI video a while ago. To me, there's a weird subsect of people. There are people who are completely against AI, and I get it. I'm a person who thinks it can be useful in certain tools. As someone who's in the engineering space, I actually do find it useful for mundane tasks. It is not at all a replacement for human work or human intuition. It is not. And certainly not human emotion. No way. I am against AI when it comes to like, I don't really like generative AI, to be honest. That's a whole other discussion. But I think it can be useful for certain things. I genuinely think it can help make things faster. Things that we shouldn't have to do that are too repetitive as humans to do. Then you have a group of people like this absolute imbecile, this Xbox producer. You have these people who use AI to solve all of their problems in life. AI girlfriends, AI partners, AI to, like come up with your plan for the day. AI to reduce the emotional and cognitive load that comes with job loss. Hello? AI can't feel emotion. Humans do. That is something you need to cope with. So you're laying off your employees, then telling them to use the technology that, because you supported so much, is cutting those jobs in the first place, to use that? That's not going to make them feel better. That's going to make them feel worse. What? Like, this is crazy. Look at Microsoft's latest, right? Yeah. This is crazy. Matt Turnbull. Fuck this guy. AI bro in that profile photo right there, if I've ever fucking seen it. Look at this. These are really challenging times. You're not alone. You don't have to go it alone. I know these types of tools engender strong feelings in people, but I'd be remiss in not trying to offer the best advice. The best advice, you should not be giving advice to these people. You just laid them off. You are the last person to be giving advice. You did not get a salary cut. You were getting paid a shit ton of money still. You should not be offering advice. And even then, the best advice I can offer, because you can't critically think any other way, experimenting with ways to use LLM AI tools like ChatGPT or Copilot to help reduce the emotional and cognitive load that comes with job loss. Here are some prompts and use cases. Like, what? I have no other words. I have no other words. This is fucking absurd. This is dystopian shit. This is, like I said, there is a small subsection of people who use AI for everything because they can't critically think or feel on their own. It is crazy to me. It's so crazy. I'm sorry. I know I'm getting worked up. Like I said, buckle in. This is crazy. Anyways, I don't know what else I could talk about. So many industry veterans, so many jobs being lost. It's like Xbox is in such a terrible position. And if you're only a Call of Duty player, if you're only a sports game player and you just like playing on the Xbox, if you're only a Halo player, this isn't going to matter to you. It should, but I know it's not going to matter to you. If you're any other kind of gamer on Xbox, this is devastating. This is awful. Fuck Xbox. Fuck Microsoft. Fuck them all. Fuck them all. On this 4th of July, I'm saying fuck Xbox. I am done. How do you support a company like this? How do you support a company that is so unsustainable that they buy these massive publishers and then just lay people off anyways because they're so busy pushing AI because it's the next corporate buzzword? How do you do this shit, man? It's fucking wild. I don't think I have anything else to say except fuck Xbox. I think I'm done. I'm still gonna play games on my Series X. Like I said, I like the hardware. I'm not buying any more hardware from them. I'm not buying any more games on their service. I'm done. I'm done with Xbox. I'm not gonna cover them anymore unless it's shit like this. I'm not gonna cover like games that they come out with. I'm done. I'm done with it personally. I won't judge you if you don't do that because I know you got the hardcore fan base there still, and you play the games you want, But for me, I'm done. I'm so done. Fuck this company. They have no care for their employees. They don't even give a shit about games. They don't give a shit about gamers. And maybe Phil does. Maybe Sarah Bond does. But even if they don't, or even if they do care, they're not doing a good job at keeping that line of supporting gamers. So gut them. Fucking gut them. I don't know who you can replace with this at this point because you probably have the people at top of Microsoft who would still control them like their own puppets. I don't fucking know. Honestly, this was really good to get off my chest. The Doom soundtrack really helped. Xbox, I hope that pisses you off because Mick Gordon is a great composer. Fuck you. Anyways, no, not you watching Xbox. I mean, Xbox, don't worry. Xbox, I don't know where they're going to be at in 10 years, man. They might be gone in 10 years for all I know. They're in such a shitty spot, and honestly, maybe the industry will be better for that. I have no idea. Not for the people who work there, though. I hope, sincerely, to wrap this up on a more genuine note. Not that that wasn't genuine. I really hope all the people that were laid off, I know they're probably not going to, but I hope a lot of them at least are able to land back on their feet at some point, whether they spin off indie studios, join other independent studios or small publishers, whatever they need to do. I really hope people can land on their feet okay, because Xbox doesn't care. They just keep paying their execs whatever amount they're probably getting paid more because of their record profits because they cut everybody else off. I hope everybody who was laid off lands on their feet, and I hope they can find something. It's just, it sucks that this is the position we're in. It sucks. This is where we are. This is where Xbox is, and it's not good. It's not good. Anyways, that's all I can really talk about now. I think I got everything off my chest. Thank you for watching if you did. Like I said, try to argue against me in the comments below. Just try. Unless it's something I was factually incorrect about, then please do correct me. But try to argue against me that this video is pointless. Try to argue against me that I should not care. Just try. Do your best. But otherwise, let me know in the comments below. What do you think about all this devastating news? What do you think about Xbox right now? Are you still playing Xbox? What are you doing? What's going on? Let me know in the comments below. Otherwise, I'm going to catch you on the next video live stream that definitely will not be covering any Xbox. I'm done. But I'll catch you all later. Thank you all so much for watching. See you later.